Hi everybody and welcome back to another edition of the Sun Devil Source 2-Minute Drill. I'm Ethan Tuttle, joined alongside Chris Cartman. We're here at Sun Devil Stadium. We just wrapped up Arizona State's 9th spring practice, the second scrimmage here in Sun Devil Stadium. Chris, some guys just making some plays today. A lot of different segments we saw. Let's go ahead and break it down. But first, what were some of your biggest takeaways from this?
Too many penalties, I thought. They were playing situationally at the outset versus one quarterback for extended series. I think that contributed to some cadence and just rhythm kind of issues that contributed to some false starts. They also had offsides multiple times. They had a great catch that was made that was wiped away due to a offsetting penalties issue that included Troy O'Meary, the guy who made the catch. I felt like there was impressive pass rush that we've seen kind of throughout a sort of theme throughout spring ball. BJ Green had 2 sacks. Other guys, I think, did a good job in that regard. Still, though, the offense had some pretty impressive sequences, and the quarterbacks, I think, looked good for the most part. There was a bad early interception by Trenton Bourguet, but otherwise I thought that the way that they functioned was pretty good. And even the run game, I thought, did a good job today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of guys who've stood out so far through the spring practices, like Xavier Guillory, Jaden Rashada showing some of his young talent. But there were some surprise standouts today at this scrimmage. Who were some of the guys who kind of stood out and caught your eye today that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, there was probably the most of that I've seen throughout all of spring ball. I thought James Junkham at linebacker showed that he's ready to play at a thin kind of a position. Great sideline to sideline coverage. I think he is a physical impacting tackler as a bigger guy at 6'3", 6'4", 237 pounds. That's been pretty impressive. Today we saw, I think, others stand out in the passing game because they held out a few guys. There was Coben Bourguet out there catching some passes from his brother, which was pretty interesting to see. Yeah, he's probably not going to play a lot in a deep group, right? But he was out there making plays. Tariq Luckett is a cornerback who, as a junior college transfer, a lot was expected of last year that really never materialized, but he probably had the best practice overall to my eye out there. Javen Jacobs is getting opportunities at running back now, transitioning, and I think he's a guy that you can't sleep on to actually be able to potentially get some reps. He had a nice touchdown run. This was a very interesting practice because it was several guys that you didn't expect who actually looked really great.
Coach Kenny Dillingham, a flair for the extreme, a flair for fun. We've seen that so far throughout spring ball. He's brought out the basketball hoop before today. He put the guys on the goal line, said, hey, we're going to run hundreds and sprints. And then he said, April Fool's Day, everybody. Actually, we're going to have a dance competition. So kind of just what were your thoughts on that part of the practice and that whole segment right there?
He's found a way to keep it exciting every single day with these mid-practice fun things that guys enjoy, right? And they had these penalties, and I think that he was able to use that to his advantage in telling them, okay, you guys are going to have to run gassers. And then as soon as everybody was lined up on the goal line, it was like, haha, like I got you, we're going to have a dance competition.
Yeah.
It was Andre Johnson who apparently won the dance competition, according to a informal poll that I took of some guys. Ro Torrance, some people were very critical of his dancing ability. And then Kenny Dillingham spontaneously got involved by doing the worm, which included quite a bit of heights.
Quite some air time. I mean, I think I clocked it at about half a second to 1 second hang time in the air. Pretty impressive stuff there from that head coach.
There was a lot happening. But the players love it. They're having a good time out here, working hard, but also getting these fun sort of breaks.
So we're 2/3 of the way through spring practices. Is this team kind of where you expected them to be at this point through spring ball?
I would say probably, maybe a little bit ahead. Today wasn't as sharp to my eye, building off of what they did in a great scrimmage last Saturday, so that's part of it. But you have to love the talent that they have at the skill positions. If you're an ASU fan, they are loaded at wide receiver and tight end. Quarterback play, I think, is going to be good. The biggest question is probably going to be how they do at the line of scrimmage. Offensive line, defensive line. You need to be pretty good there to win a lot of games to be able to give yourself a chance to win a Pac-12 title. and nobody expects that from ASU. Like, we're going to be seeing like an over/under of like 4.5 or 5 wins as the expectation for ASU. But I'm much more bullish on their potential, especially offensively, to put points on the board with the talent that they have in this scheme. And I think ASU fans will probably enjoy watching this team for the first year under Kenny Dillingham.
Yeah, I'll echo that. I mean, just a lot of guys across the field that seem like they can make some explosive plays, and we've seen it so far. We're going to have more coverage coming to you throughout the week of spring football. Thanks again for tuning in to this edition of the 2-Minute Drill. I'm Ethan Tuttle. That's Chris Cartman. We'll see you next time.